Hi, been a funny old day today. Spent a lot of it framing a couple of these watercolours. I had to go to a place recommended, that was quite a way away, about half-hour drive. A picture frame warehouse in New Malden, if you know. I wanted some ready-mades because I've got an exhibition coming up, a cooperative artists exhibition in Denbies in April. Now Denbies is a winery in Dorking, fabulous place. They even produce beer there as well as wine. It's a conference centre, got restaurants. And I thought I'd better get on with it and get some. I've got some oils to go in, which I did some time ago now. So I thought I'd better spend a bit of time on tabulating them and making an index and framing a couple. But today I was looking at one I've just framed. It's one of my simple, well, two of them really, looking across water, Lakeland, or Lakeland ponds, lakes near me, Mitcham Common. I love that sort of view and with different colours. And I'm going to just sort of do sort of a lot of water here, not a river, but it's sort of lakey or wet, because we've had a lot of soaked landscapes in England and Wales over the last couple of months. So water is very much on the agenda. Excuse me while I drink a cup of tea. So what with going over there to sort out 4 or 5 frames, found one didn't have the glass in it, the other one was cracked, so I've had to cut a bit of glass, which I have here and there, and cut some mounts. They didn't have any double mounts like this, so I went to a local hobby craft shop and bought a couple of imperial sizes and cut them down to make a couple of doubles. So that, and when I look at them, I think, well, yeah, that's the sort of painting I'd like to do. Simple, atmospheric, bags of damn all, as Edward Weston would say. Just a few trees and water, but they seem to have some atmosphere. I'm not one for detail, as you know. I'm not an architectural painter. I do buildings as sort of objects in a landscape, but that's about all. I don't do portraits of houses. I'm a tree man and sky and ivy and stuff and distance. But above all, I think for me anyway, the most important thing is atmosphere, or creating a mood, a sky that comes off, that's got bags of light, yet it's got detail in it, suggested. And the skies that we've got going over at the moment around London, well, around England, because there's so much water in the atmosphere, as it starts to get to twilight, you've got this lovely red in the sky, and it's utterly beautiful. And you can see big clouds coming over, and you can see the rain sort of coming down from underneath the clouds at a distance, and it's just so inspiring. So I've increased my angle. I'm not going up to the vertical. I've got up to about 60-70 degrees, or thereabouts. I have a set square here. It's a 30-degree set square, but like everything up here, I can never find anything. There's so much stuff here, but it's about. I used these things years and years ago in a previous life when I was a draftsman. Engineering draftsman, so we had all the drawing implements, but I had to draw very accurately then. It wasn't computer aided designs, it is now. We had to do all these plans by eye, by doing it really. So this is my reaction to detail and tightness, being tight in your paintings. This is why wet in wet is such a lovely technique if you want to learn to free yourself up. And I've got friends who are graphic designers, or they were graphic designers, and they have some of them have a difficulty in being loose because they're so used to doing tightness in their job, which is quite right. When they come to doing this sort of thing, they're a bit of a loss. But anyway, that's just my little view, and as always, there are always other views. But I made a friend last year, some friends, when we were camping in our trailer. We went fishing in Watergate Bay, and I caught this wonderful fish. He'd caught two the consecutive nights before, one on each night, about 4 pounds in weight. Absolutely fabulous fish on the barbecue. And I caught one on the third night because he showed me how to do it. I'm only a hobby fisherman, something to do, but he's quite serious. And I said, well, what are you doing that is so, well, you're catching fish, I'm standing 20 yards away and catching nothing. He said, and he told me, he said, this is what I'm doing. He didn't say you should do it, I should do it, he just said, this is what I'm doing. And so I copied him, and lo and behold, I caught this wonderful fish, bigger than the two he caught. And we had a great time. But he's retired now, but in his previous life, he was a graphic designer. And he still does. He didn't like the job. He did it for 7 years, but he didn't like it. But he produces some fabulous artwork, which I've seen, Disney-esque types, well, more graphic than that, but superb artist, absolutely superb. And I suppose really was being polite when he said mine was quite nice, because my art is totally different to his. You see, I'm a great advocate of copying. Copy my stuff, anything that you can learn from. Copy. Don't worry about plagiarism, because everybody learns painting by copying. In museums, art galleries, you'll see students with their easels and their oils, painting away, copying the masters. Because eventually you develop your own style. I could no more paint like Stephen Cronin, because I know a lot of you are following him, quite rightly so. He produces some lovely work that looks easy on the surface, but isn't, of course. But that's the way he paints. You can spot a Stephen Cronin, well I could, a mile off. You could pinch his ideas and do your thing with them. I do a lot of that. But I could no more make my painting look like Stephen's or Alan Owen's than they could do mine. We were different, but you learn by doing and doing and doing a lot of it. So don't despair. If you're just starting out in your watercolour career, don't worry that things aren't, or your hake is holding too much water. Don't worry about it. You just keep doing it. Be prepared to waste some paper. And we'll put a bit of red in that sky. Get that in the water there. Right, as that dries, I'll put in some cloud going across, but I'll do some over the top of that. Bit darker. No, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I'm just sort of making this up. Just a bit there. That's it. That'll all blend and soften. We'll just take off some of that excess moisture now and re-clip. I left my hake with some paint across the tip, so it took about 5 minutes to clear it. It's only gum Arabic that binds the colours together, but try to remember to clean off your materials clean off your brushes at the end of the day. Now, when I bought my 2 sheets of mount card earlier to do my mount, I bought a new rigger. I thought my one was losing a few hairs, but I don't know, this one was £4. I bought that at it's Pro Arte. They make my guitar strings as well. A lot of things are involved in, but this is slightly longer hairs than the one I have been using. So we'll say welcome to that. Welcome aboard. Right, I'm just going to dry that off a bit. Just taking a bit of the shine off, and I'm going to use a bit of the sky colour in the distance there, but not too wet. Right, okay, let's just put in some distance. Right, okay. No detail in this. It looks like it's going to pour with rain. I'll take that over there a little bit. The thing is, symmetry, avoid. Don't do on the left what you do on the right. Make things look slightly different. Put the weight on one side. Otherwise the viewer will look there, and they won't know where to look. You need to create like a pathway through a painting if you can remember to do it. I'm not saying I'm good at it, 'cause I'm not. Now, to clarify, I'm getting asked quite a few questions by people that are having a go at this. I started off with watercolours, as we all do, over 40 years ago, and I stuck with it, and I copied like mad. I copied a lot of Roland Hilda work. It's how I know how to do my trees with the canopy. And I thought I'd never ever be able to do it. But my trees don't look like Roland Hilda's because, as I said, you develop your own way, your own language. But I loved his work, and I loved the darks that he put in. He's dead now, sadly. And then I got on to Ron Ranson about 30 odd years ago. 30 years ago? Long time ago. And I bought his books. Then I bought his books on Seago, 2 on Seago, 2 on Edward Weston, 1 on modern Impressionists, including some of the Wapping Art Group. Ted Weston was a member, Trevor Chamberlain. Let's put some nice lemon yellow and a bit of sienna in the, while we think of it. Let's just get a bit of vary the colours, a bit of burnt sienna as well in there, just warm it up at the back there. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to put my reflections in, paint my sky. So we'll put that in, we'll soon sort that out. No, just repeating there what you've got on the in the sky, a bit of red. Right, that's my water. Now I'll concentrate on doing my greens, my green grass. Simple way of doing that is a bit of Payne's grey with the lemon yellow. We can strengthen this up with some detail in a minute. Right, that's the basis of it. We'll yak away while that's going. I'll put some larger trees up in here. as and when. And when Stephen does his trees, he uses the corner of the brush and brings them down. I tend to use more of the shoulder here to make them flatter. But it doesn't matter, we're making marks, and when you look at a painting you interpret it as you do. If I was capable of putting absolutely everything in every blade of grass, every twig, and there are people that can do that sort of work, I'm not one of them. But if you put everything in, people look at it and think, as I do, think, well, how clever? Oh, that's clever, but so what? So what? Where's the artistic interpretation, or where's the mystery for a viewer to put in? It's what you leave out that is important in all this. Right, that's okay. Well, I'm going to put the light on. Excuse me, because it's coming over a little bit grey, but still with a lovely light in the sky. Sorry if I jog the camera. Right, I want to put some stuff in there now. So let's use a bit of burnt umber and a bit of lemon yellow, a bit of Payne's grey. We get nice warm. Oh, that doesn't look like anybody. It might look a bit like Wesson. Right, a bit darker now. Right, now let's get some shadow in underneath. I'm doodling really, just having some fun with the brush. Just I'll put some more in there afterwards. Right, okay, that'll do for a minute. Just let that go. That's now a bit of dark green in here. Warm it up a bit. Because this all dries lighter than you put it on. Right, get some nice dark greens in now. Then we'll put in a nice dark edge here to show the bit of shadow. When your brush gets a bit dry, it tends to split, of course, as you know from your experience. Right. Get some nice dark in there now. Burnt sienna, Payne's grey, nice thick. Because otherwise, if you need to put paint on wet, well, on a wet surface, much thicker than what's underneath. Otherwise, it won't. It'll just sort of disappear into the background. And I will put some reflections in for that, and I've got to do some more trees over here. More tea. Nice to do a bit more there. And now with a card, I'll just put in some detail in here. It just shows a bit of a rocky sort of shore. So this is more a pond rather than what the rain has done. Just a little bit of texture across there. Yeah, I like that, but I want that to be a different colour. I want some nice warm dark grey in there. So the just a bit of grassy stuff going up there. Excuse me. I'll do some wriggle in that. See, the warm colours come towards you. I'm getting carried away. There we are, that'll do. See, they give an impression of there being rocks. Right, now let's get a bit of warmer stuff in here. Still want it to be green. Cheer us up. Because I think spring starts tomorrow, 1st of March. Let's just thicken that up a bit. It's the same colour, isn't it? Right, I'll just put in some bushy stuff across here. Just some bushes, so they don't compete with that tree there. A bit darker. And where's my little card gone? Let's just put in, this could be gorse. Okay, let's, now I want to dry that off there. I want to put some bushes across that horizon there, but they want to be more blue. Let's just go over the hill. Right, get some nice dark greens in here now. That's not working. Better. I'm going to dry that off, and I'm going to do some rigger work now. Rigger. Finish my tea. So you can just lose yourself in this sort of nondescript sort of painting now. Right, first time I use this. This is a bit of detail on there. So just showing a bit of, just a quick way of doing reflections. No, all just with a rigger. It's, you'll just about see a bit of that distant tree in there. But I don't want to obliterate all that water there. Right, all you've got the reflection there is the sky and the bank. That needs to be strong, some stronger stuff in there. So, burnt sienna, Payne's grey. Really nice warm. Just a bit of grass. I haven't done a lot of painting this week. I've had a couple of failures that were just too bad to put on YouTube. We do have them. But I was also asked how do I spend a lot of time doing this? Virtually all the painting I've done the last year since I started doing videos has been the videos. I've had enough. But it'd be nice to see if a couple of the ones that I'm putting in the exhibition actually sell. I have sold 4, but they're not. I haven't been in the market to sell paintings really. I'm doing this not for any great reward, but I've sold 4 or 5 so far, unframed. That's how I like to sell paintings, because then I don't have the expense of lashing out for a frame or making one myself and waiting for them to sell. So, pragmatic really. Put some reflection in there of the bank. So what you put above, just put below. Oh, let's try and shake off my cold. Okay, so there's not a lot in this really, is there? But no, let's just put in some nice some of this. The thing I have to remind myself is that whilst a silhouette I paint against the light or into the light, the trunks would seem much darker because of the shadow. But in different lights, you look at trees, their trunks and branches, big branches. A lot of them are grey green. Some or greeny grey. I was looking out my bedroom window. There was a tree in the road, and that is green. And it was against the dark sky this morning. It was catching the lights of the sun just breaking through, and it was lovely. Oops. Alright, there we are. It's coming on. I won't be painting tomorrow. I've got to work tomorrow, do some paper, well not paper, I can't. As you know, my business was fitting carpets, but I'm sort of coming to the end of that now. I'm getting too old. But it's nice, but my son's dog chewed up the carpet. And I put it down 4 or 5 years ago, and so he's had to buy another one. A nice bit of shadow in there. I wish I'd left a bit more of that in there, but all is not lost. Let's get a bit of tissue, and we can lift it a little bit out. Just to show a bit of lighter stuff there. Right, I can put a couple of figures on there. I don't think that has come out very well, but it probably looks okay on the screen. Yeah, it does. But if I put a little figure with a rigger, let's just make sure it's dry. They wouldn't be figures. Wouldn't be very big. But they've got to be in scale. So well, let's put something in here. No, let's get. Well, they're quite large, aren't they? So. Someone in here just standing on there, just looking. It's a bit dark on there. Right, we'll just give a little bit of a reflection in there. One. Right, that'll do. Apologise for that. That's not really good enough, but But if I put a couple of little voids, okay, I'll do. I'll sign that and I'll put it in a mount. Just a simple little watercolour, more yakking from me than painting. But really, have a go yourself. Invent your own landscapes. I've just invented that. It's a nothing really, but it does, I hope, contain some mystery. Some, you're going to say quoi? Put it in the mountain and have a. Oh look, I've forgotten. Got my mount. Look. Oh dear. Oh well, never mind. Inevitable. Right, well there we are. Let's just get that there. Well, that's not bad, is it? It's not good. It's got a lot in it. It's got a couple of figures. It's got this gorse type of patch here. It's got a bit of distant or middle distant trees, and it's got a nice distance to it with a bit of light on here. That was a bit of an accident, but the reflections are there. So I'm going to let that go. Thanks for watching. Let's go into it and have a little look at the figures. Just a couple. There's the gorse patch, and they're my trees. They're very, very scrappy, but hey, you can see they're trees. Right, let's go across into the water, into the pond. All very simply done. To make water look wet, put stuff above the banks and do the same in the water at the same time. Or there's one way of doing it. And then it just immediately says, ah, that's wet. Mine looks wet because I put these reflections in. Leave them out, it's nothing. But you put them in, it's everything. So I might see you Monday. Bye bye.